Hello, it's Hillary with Tempost Sells, full-time reseller, eBay, Poshmark, Etsy. And I just wanted to share that I co-hosted, I guess, my first Poshmark party today. And I wanted to share that experience with you. And toward the end there, give some tips if you want to be chosen as a host pick, how to maybe get that done. I found out about a week before the date of the Posh Party, which was the jewelry and accessories party at 3 p.m. Eastern time today. And I got an email about a week ago with all the information and the instructions. And I had a hard time if Valerie, thank you so much, Valerie. If Valerie hadn't let me know that I was hosting that party, I never would have looked for the email and I never would have found it because for some reason it wasn't in my regular email. I searched by Poshmark, I couldn't find it. I searched by, originally I think it said I was hosting maternity. And so I looked under maternity and then I finally found it by searching Posh Party. I don't know where it was, but it just wasn't coming up. So anyway, so I had the instructions and I'm just going to share those with you kind of quick. Share at least 50 items minimum up to, and then it says 5 to 10 of those items can be my own. Just pick 5 or 10 Poshmark. 5 to 10, I don't like that. Also, they want us to share, I think, 10 to 25 listings from new closets, which I found a little difficult, but we'll talk about that later. Only share items that are available for purchase, nobody on vacation or in search of items, ISO. Do not share counterfeit items under any circumstances, which I found difficult because they're asking me to have the sort of expertise to know a real Kate Spade bag from a fake, and in jewelry it's especially difficult because I don't know how do I tell if the diamonds are real? I don't. They can have a certificate, but they can still be fake. I don't know. So I kind of didn't really pay attention to that one. I just went for if it looked like whatever, then a Gucci watch, then I just shared it because I wanted to get things under all price points. It also says do not share listings from closets that participate in offline transactions or communication, which is also difficult to find because I had somebody that I shared their item and I noticed that it said, because I put a little, your item's been chosen for Poshmark blah 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 party. So I was in the comments and I saw a comment requesting that the seller take the item offline, and she didn't reply. So either she took the communication offline or she ignored it. So I don't really know how to suss that out. So I pretty much just ignored that. And let's see. This one didn't really apply to me, but it says for makeup parties, make sure that the items are always new with tags, NWT. And then it says to have fun and do a little shopping myself, which I did a little bit. I liked some items, but I didn't buy anything. I'm not in the market for anything right now other than a really cool pair of Docs or combat boots in a size 10.5. So if you have those, hit me up. So right away, I started liking some of my real life Posh friends first because they were definitely going to be featured. And I think Tracy, I think you might have qualified for a new closet. I sent a little message that said, "Oh yeah, I'm going to be a Posh co-host, party co-host, and your item is going to show up in the party, and you'll get a message from me that says that it's listed there." Because what good is having a Posh party if co-hosting a Posh party if you can't include your buddies? So. I did that. And then over the week, I liked jewelry and accessories as I was sharing. There were a couple of people that I knew that had really, really cool jewelry, and I went back through jewelry, went way back into my older likes to find things to see if I could find those items from those people, and I shared some of those. Also, I looked back over people that I'd had favorable communications with, and I shared from them. Let's see. The day before the party is when the announcement goes out to all the Posher. It goes out at 1 p.m. Eastern, and I started getting requests immediately. I was out at 1 o'clock, and at 3 o'clock, I checked my Poshmark, and I'd had, I believe, 258 requests and shares and follows. And I use those to fill out my shareable items. So if somebody, shared like 15 of my items, most likely they were definitely featured. I tried to find new Poshers listings, but the problem I had with it was that it's difficult because I go through like the new closets, but then I wasn't finding very many jewelry or accessories, and the ones I found had poor pictures. There were a couple of people that contacted me and said, I'm new at this and I'd really like to be featured. And I went to their closet and clicked on an item, and they were so new that they were eligible for their first sale $3.99 shipping discount. So they definitely got featured. By yesterday evening, I had about 600 new followers, requests, and shares. The night before the party, I had just about all the items that I was going to share. There were definitely some, places that I could fill in more. And the way I chose those people, just to go into a little more detail, is first I chose from people who shared my items. Normally when somebody shares my items, I try to share back. Sometimes the scroll goes too deep and I can't. But if you follow me, I will probably share your items if you have shared items on your own. We'll talk about that a little later too. Second choice were people who crafted a nice request. I'll talk about that in a minute. One of the hard things to do, like I said, was to determine who had a compliant closet, because I'm not the Poshmark police. So if somebody, if had a fake handbag, I don't really know enough about handbags. I mean, I just got caught on that myself, and I swore I had a real Coach bag, but I did not. So I don't know how to determine that. But anyway, I just kind of ignored that request, to be honest. Just as a demonstration, a nice request. This is a paraphrase of one that I actually received, and it just said, "Hi, congrats on being chosen as a co-host for tomorrow's jewelry and accessories party. I have some great items in my closet. If you have a moment to check them out, sharing the Posh love until then." Very brief, concise, and to the point. Third, I chose people who had shared items themselves. Poshmark bills itself as a social media shopping app, and I've said that before. If people don't want to share, that's fine, but I'm not sharing their stuff either, and I'm definitely not choosing it for a host pick. So if they had 50 items in their closet and 0 shares, I'm so sorry. You did not get chosen for my host pick, no matter how pretty your pictures were. The morning of the party, I double-checked the requirements just to make sure that I was, following the rules, and was good because I had thought that there was a limit of 100 items that you could share at the party, but it turns out, that there's only a minimum of 50, and that's the only requirement. I also wanted to save some space for a day of changes because I'd been choosing things for a week, and people go on vacation, some items get sold, and I didn't really know how many items I could share in 2 hours. I know it takes me about 2.5 hours to share my whole friggin' closet, which is about 800 items. so yeah, like about 800 items, I guess. I don't know, 700 maybe. The day of, I made sure I checked my comments and I added some more likes from there. And as a side note, I used the likes feature to pick my items. So if I was like, oh, this is a great, mid-century modern sort of accessory or whatever. I don't know why I picked mid-century modern, whatever, pin. I would click the like feature and then it would show up in my likes, and that's how I shared. However, what this meant is that I got a lot of offers. Next time I might use Pinterest to store my potential shares. I didn't respond to any of the offers and I unliked them as soon as the item was posted. I feel like that was not the best way to go about it, but that is what I did. And what I did was that I opened the listing and I scrolled down to the comments because I left them a little comment that said that I had chosen their item as a host pick. And I wanted to make sure that nobody else had chosen them as a host pick either today or, a couple of weeks ago. The very last one I posted, it was like 459 and I was trying to get one more in. And so I ended up posting somebody who had a host pick in December on that same item, but I don't feel bad about that. But I preferred to have something that hadn't been chosen as a host pick previously. And I tried to vary the items between jewelry and accessories. Next, so since I opened, I shared that as a host pick. I pasted my comment in the comments and that they were chosen as a host pick. And then the last thing I did was I removed my like. I was allowed to share 5 to 10 of my own items, and I shared 3. I'm not sure if being a host pick is vital to your Posh success. I tend to think no. I've been chosen as a host pick, like, I don't know, 7 or 8 times maybe. And I've had 2 sales immediately after being chosen as host pick. The rest, maybe I picked up a couple of likes and a couple of follows, but not anything that was, ooh, this made a difference in my whole career. So if you want to be chosen as a host pick, here are some tips. And these are things that I've done myself, especially when I wanted to be a host pick. When parties are announced, which is at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, share items of the co-host of the party that you're most interested, party or parties. If it's like maternity and you don't have any maternity, why are you asking, for somebody to go through and share your stuff? Don't be stupid. And you would be surprised. I had people that had no jewelry or accessories in their closet that I could find. And I go to the category, I pick jewelry or accessories. I went through a lot of men's accessories because there were very few and I wanted to vary my offerings. Yeah, so don't make it difficult to find your items. Like if you don't move your items above your sold items, and I'm not scrolling down. So let's see. Don't bombard the host with requests. I've heard it didn't really happen to me. I had one person write me like 3 or 4 times, but I had read previously when I was researching about hosting a Posh Party where somebody was saying, yeah, they got like 8 requests from the same person. And I don't think you can block anybody on Posh, but I would have blocked that person. I would have found a way. Let's see. Some people shared the items they wanted to promote using the bundle feature. And I didn't realize that until the party was over. So I didn't really catch that. So I don't know, maybe next time, and maybe seasoned hosts are more aware of that, but I didn't know. And so those people sort of got ignored. If you want to write a request, you want to make it brief and clear, like the one I read to you. don't go on for days about having no sales and you're not sure if this Poshmark thing is good for you and how are people making money and blah, blah, blah. You don't want to be like all needy. It doesn't inspire me to share your stuff. If you are a new posher and writing a note, state that, because the people that did it, it really helped me fulfill the brief. I just went on, like one lady, she only had one item that I could share, and I shared that item because it fit in the category, and because she said she was a new posher, it helped me fulfill that requirement. Make sure, make sure your closet has something that can be contributed to that category. We just went over that. And have quality pictures. There were a couple of people that I just couldn't share because the pictures were crap. And like to the point where you couldn't quite tell what it was. And I understand, people have lives and they can't, take pictures in natural daylight or, what have you, but, get an ot light or, I film in my kitchen and I use in my kitchen, overhead light. I use the reveal light bulbs and that gives me fairly good light. I don't have great light, but, I can kind of fake it. I also have one of those little tiny ring lights that sits on your phone. That helps a little bit, especially when photographing black stuff. But find a way to make it work for you. I got that little light thing at Five Below for $5. So make it work. If you have to hold a lamp upside down or have your kid hold a lamp upside down so you can get a picture that shows details. If you want to be featured as a posh pic, that's fine. I've seen people will buy, if the lighting isn't great, they'll still buy. But to show as a posh pic, I wanted nice, clear, beautiful pictures. Let's see. I found this extraordinarily helpful, is that the people that requested that their items be chosen for the party, they moved them up to the top of their queue so they were easy to find. So when I clicked onto their closet, it was just like jewelry, accessories. Oh, here's a belt, boom. And I didn't have to do so much work. All in all, I had fun hosting. I would do it again. I gained about 800 to 1,000 new followers. A large number of my items were shared. I hardly shared any of my items today at all. I think I shared maybe the three items during the Posh Party, and then I shared during the last party of the day. I think it was Girl Boss. I don't know. I never know what these party themes mean. The last one, Girl Boss, unless it's like really like winter wear. Anyway, it's definitely not for everyone. I did it for the shares and the follows. So I'm satisfied with the results, me personally. I didn't think I was going to get sales out of it. And really, I think, I don't know if many people get sales out of it because the people that are really hungry for it are sellers who may not be shoppers. So anyway, if you have any tips on getting that host pick, go ahead and list them below. I'm sure there are some people I would like to know that because I don't mind being featured as a host pick. I just don't go after it as much as I did. Also, share if you've co-hosted a Posh Party and what your process was like. I love to hear how you worked it out because I read like a blog post and she basically said it was a chore and she wasn't going to do it again because it was so much work. And I really didn't find this as much work. I just, picked items I like. That's how I share. It's like if I'm going through your closet and I'm like, oh, those boots are cute. I'm going to share them. I don't really, go looking for things. And I'll like things anyway, because you never know if somebody's going to give you a good enough deal on something. But anyway, so Posh Party. Co-host, check. So I wanted to thank you so much for watching this video all the way through. If you like this content, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, like it. I also invite you to subscribe. And if you really like it, go ahead and put a ring on it by clicking the bell. I don't know where the bell is. Bell or bell. Uh, and you'll get a notification when I post a new video. So until next time, thank you so much for sharing this moment with me, and I hope you have big sales. Thanks. Bye.